I cannot agree to this false allegations. I am the most suitable for my position. Padayachee has firmly rejected allegations that he is unqualified for his senior role at IDAC, describing the claims as completely baseless and politically motivated. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification button for more updates. He insists that his academic background, years of professional experience, and public service record clearly demonstrate that he meets the requirements for the position.
Before I do so, there are various issues I need first to deal with if my answers to the issues identified above are to be sensible. Thus, I have structured this affidavit as follows. First, I deal with the allegation that I was appointed to a senior position within IDAC despite lacking the requisite skills, experience, and qualifications. Second, I use my role to influence and control investigative outcomes, court proceedings, in particular the criminal charges against Lieutenant General Kunazi and his co-accused. Third, I conclude. The appointment skills, experience, and qualifications. I have already pointed out when I was appointed to IDAC and how long I had previously been involved with investigations at the time. In what follows below, I intend to expand on these aspects. Insofar as Lieutenant General Kunazi suggested that I'm not qualified for my job, I've attached Annexure Mark BP1, a copy of my certificate for a detective course that I successfully attended in 1998. For the sake of completeness, I have also attached Annexure BP2, a copy of the allocations of points awarded to me during the detective course. It is worth mentioning that I was awarded the honor of being the top student in my class upon the conclusion of the detective course. I have extensive management experience and operational experience of the detective course. I have extensive management experience and operational experience spanning over a period of 44 years. The statement says 43. At the time it was made, it's 43. It's now 44 years of my law enforcement career. During this period, I completed various investigative courses and attended various investigative workshops on investigations. I have completed 2 investigative courses hosted by the United States of America and France. These courses enhanced my operational, investigative, and management skills. The courses and workshops I attended to also included fraud, money laundering, financial investigations, a project approach to specialized investigations, crime intelligence, undercover investigative techniques, counterterrorism, and financial investigations. I have attached 2 copies of these certificates marked Annexures BP3 to BP10. Commissioner, I have a diploma in police administration. It was awarded to me in 1992. I have attached a true copy of my certificate in this regard. It is marked BP11. It remains to indicate that it is graded NQF level 6. I also have a national certificate in police administration awarded in 1985 and a national higher certificate policing awarded in 1999. It is marked BP12 and BP13. Now I'm at this point. I also make available and attached and the advert in response to which I was appointed. It is marked BP14. Thus, I put it up front that the allegations that I was appointed to a senior position within IDAC in the circumstances where I do not have the requisite skills, experience, and qualifications is void, empty, and bereft of a factual foundation. It is baseless. Before my appointment, I have been involved in many successful criminal investigations. It is appropriate for me to mention a few. At the time of my appointment, I investigated and/or had previously been involved the Inchanga massacre in the year 2000. So involved that I received a commendation from the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal. See annexure marked BP15. The Plesisla Project Task Team. During the violence in the Eatondale-Plesisla area in KwaZulu-Natal, there were many people that lost their lives as a result of the violence and gang violence within the area. I investigated and followed leads which led to successful arrest of suspects for a double murder. It must be mentioned that this was a closed, cold docket that was initially a MI2P docket, malicious injury to property docket, which I looked at, perused at, and later established through further investigation that it was actually a murder docket and not an MI2P. The circumstances of that docket was the deceased, the suspects went to the deceased house and first burnt his clothes. And at the later stage, he was attacked and butchered together with his friend. This operation, the suspects were arrested during a coordinated operation which I was involved in. Several other arrests and seizure of firearms resulted in the Presisa precinct. As a result, I was awarded a certificate of recognition by the Mayor of Pietermaritzburg. A copy is attached, marked BP16. The Richmond Task Team, named Ops Pack 2, we are well aware of the violence during the Richmond time when I think it was well known throughout the country on the number of massacres that took place in Richmond. In Dabazita massacre, the Zlamini massacre. I was deployed to the Richmond Ops Pack 2 during the violence and mass murders in Richmond, KwaZulu-Natal. The arrest of the wanted suspect in Western Cape. The murder suspect, a member of the notorious Cash Money Brothers, CMB, was involved in several shootings and had evaded arrest. This suspect had a habit of shooting people in the face. In this instance, I investigated, traced, and arrested the suspect in the Western Cape. The arrest received mass media attention, and commendations were received from the National Commissioner, Provincial Commissioner Detectives for the successful arrest of the suspect. In this regard, I point you to Annexure BP 17. The attempted abduction, kidnapping of a businessman's daughter. I refer in this regard to Annexure BP 18. Not only have I investigated a number of cases I would characterize as high profile, I have also testified in various criminal court proceedings in both the High Court and the Magistrates Court. I cannot dwell into the merits of the cases which I have been appointed to investigate and which have been mentioned before this commission as they are sub judice. I do not intend to compromise court proceedings concerned with those various investigations. To elaborate on that, I have yet to testify in the criminal proceedings before the presiding officer. The charges preferred against the respective accused in the cases that I am the lead investigator will therefore be ventilated appropriately by the courts seized with hearing these matters. I was surprised when General Kunazi mentioned my name in his press briefing, and again during his testimony during the commission. This is because I had prior telephonic contact with him long before his press briefing. In actual fact, Commissioner, just to pause there, when General Kunazi stood on the podium at the press briefing and he spoke about corruption, I was applauding him. He is one of, in the 44 years that I've been in the service and in law enforcement, he is one of the best that addresses corruption and crime directly. So I applauded him. Not only had I had contact with him prior to his press briefing, just to recap, sir, I had prior telephonic contact with him long before his press briefings. Not only had I had contact with him prior to his press briefings, I had the occasion to interview him. He also provided me with an affidavit in support of one of the IDAC investigations related to crime intelligence investigations. I cannot disclose the details of General Kunazi's affidavit.
The controversy has sparked debate on social media, with critics questioning the appointment while supporters argue that accusations should be backed by credible evidence rather than speculation. Padayachee maintains that he remains focused on carrying out his responsibilities and serving the institution with integrity, emphasizing that his work should be judged by performance and results, not by unsubstantiated allegations. As the debate continues, many are calling for transparency and factual discussions instead of personal attacks.
It's still under investigation. To substantiate my contact and communication held with Lieutenant General Kunazi, I attach here 2 screenshots of the messages and phone calls held with General Kunazi prior to and after he provided me with the affidavit. They are marked BP 19 and BP 25.
Colonel, I've gone through all 7 texts. They appear to be neutral in content. You say you are traveling to Durban and that you would like to meet and a few of the chats then mention where you are, and you inquire where his office is. It's that kind of conversation, and he, of course, is responding also in that neutral manner.
Yes.
What I'm interested in is what you are seeking to establish by providing us with these texts.
Thank you, Chair. The WhatsApp messages and the interactions shows the type of communication we had. The reason being is that we had communication, we have an understanding, we have a working relationship, we know each other. The communications don't come across as, like how it is now, if I can say. These were approachable conversations. During these conversations, he told me where he was. I met him. He was outside the provincial commissioner's office. He had a short pants next to his white bakkie, hands in the pocket. I had my hands in my pocket too, although he was a general, and we were chatting. We thereafter proceeded to his office where we had a conversation with regards to what I'd required of him. From there, at a later stage, we met again, this time at his house, where we had the same conversation. And I had his affidavit. I ran him through the affidavit of the first conversation when we first met, what it's all about. The affidavit was prepared. We discussed the affidavit. The affidavit concerns a major general who's one of the suspects in my cases, and what was outlined in his affidavit. He looked at the affidavit, he confirmed the affidavit, he signed the affidavit. What's more, when you look at the WhatsApp messages, you can see the greetings. You can see the friendliness in the greetings. A blessed Easter. Hi, Brian, first name. Blessed Easter to you and your family. It's not ordinarily how a senior ranking officer will address a subordinate. It will be official, whatever. But you can see the way we are interacting and relating to each other. During the time at his house in Amshlanga, in his home, we had a cordial chat about corruption and everything that's going. And I was always in praise of him because we had met on numerous occasions before. And in that particular meeting, Commissioner, he was aware, because I told him General Kumalo is going to be arrested. He was aware also that other generals were going to be arrested too as well. And his response to me, well, they must face their own situations. He was comfortable. There was nothing abnormal. He was not angry. And we sat in the lounge for quite some time. And then after he wished me well, everything, and I took my leave. So not very long after that, or a while later, the operation on the first matter commenced, which resulted in the arrest of 4 senior officers from crime intelligence. Everything was fine. There was no issues.
Are you perhaps suggesting that if there was anything the matter, you would have expected him to react differently to you when you made contact through these chats?
Exactly, Chair. From the time of our first meeting, where we chatted in his office, the time that we spent in his lounge, I'm invited to his home. Not to his office the second time, to his home. So the scenario itself tells you the trust in your home, where your family is. So what I'm saying, the Commissioner, he was aware, he had no problems with what we were doing. And when the second arrest or the second takedown operation on the second matter, we have several case dockets and several matters that we were busy at that stage that we're going to follow in a sequence. So the first matter commenced, there was going to be a break, a second matter would have commenced, a break, then a third matter would have commenced. When the second matter commenced, I was not involved in the arrest of the accused. But I was at the police station. I need to mention, Commissioner.
The first matter, is that the one where you say 4 generals were arrested or 4 senior subs members were arrested. Is that the first matter?
The first matter is 1 general.
Oh, yes.
And two senior officers and he was a warrant officer at that time.
Yes. And then the general, was that General Kunazi?
The first one?
Yes.
No, that was the CFO, General Lushaba.
All right. And then the second matter, which one was that?
The second matter was General Kumalo, General Lekalakala, General Lushaba, General Gabela, General Madondo, Brigadier Makwela, and Brigadier Mube. That was the second matter.
All right, thank you. Thank you. If you want to continue, you may, but you've answered me because I just wanted to understand what you are seeking to convey when you refer us to these chats.
No problem.
Thank you.
And because you've touched on it, Commissioner,
yes.
What I wanted to say is that...
And I'm not stopping you. If you want to continue, you may.
No problem, Commissioner.
Yes.
It's because I'm on that point that I know we're going to come back to those annexures.
Yes.
I'm just want to just put it in context that General Kunazi was fine with the first case of General Shaba. He was fine with the second case of General Kumalo on the 27th.